welcome to another episode of You Don't Know Jack with Lydia and Matt. How's it going?
It's a perfect fall afternoon, Lydia.
And you know what? You're in shorts.
And short sweatshirt, my fall attire.
In the studio.
Yeah.
Without complaining.
Well, it's a nice day here in Mount
Uh-huh.
Maryland, and I got a good exercise in before. Got the old sweat going. So
I was going to say you've raised your core body temperature to come record a podcast.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't have to make a hobo fire or
Sometimes I was debating on whether or not to turn the little mini space heater on for you, but I think you're all right.
Oh, you're gonna find this hard to believe. I was out of town.
Yeah.
I got back in. Woke up Thursday morning. The dog looked at me like, "Dude, we can't live like this." Boom, right from the phone. Now, just the app.
I know
the
this
because
you told me you're very proud of yourself for doing that.
Yeah, powerful.
You are very powerful.
I know. Everyone says so.
We
got the furnace going.
Went international.
I did.
And now you're back, and I think it's great.
And playing hurt though.
Yeah, you are. You got swimmers here.
Swimmers here, man. It's playing injured.
Then you got on a plane.
And then I got on a plane, but I didn't. The swimmer's ear didn't really materialize until like Friday night.
So you just have this pressure behind your eardrum that you can't get rid of.
Oh, it hurts like hell. It feels like it's annoying. Like you can't pop it. It'll pop like 60 million times, but it won't like pop. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Playing hurt.
Bummer.
It's a real bummer, man.
You didn't like get out of the water and jump up and down and then do your head.
I thought I got it out. I was in the water for like all of 15 minutes.
All it takes, man.
Yeah, I know.
It
was like, you know what? Don't get out of the boat, dude. It's like,
you're a land lover.
I'm like, chef, you don't get out of the boat. Apocalypse Now reference. Don't get out of the boat.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in the water ever again.
Well, that's good to know.
Ever again.
Well,
ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay. All right.
I mean, shower, obviously.
I would hope so.
Yeah. But I mean,
nobody wants a stinky lawyer.
No, but I'm not getting in the water again.
You're not submerging yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna, or maybe I'll have like a cap on.
I was gonna say you can put like wax in your ears to keep them to waterproof.
Well, I went to the doctors obviously on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because of the severe pain.
Really?
Oh yeah. I went.
Wow.
I got eardrops. I got prescription drops. I mean, I'm playing hurt.
Are they working?
Not really, because
usually it's just a time thing.
Like how long is this going to take?
Maybe we just knock you out for a couple weeks.
I mean, it seems to be counterintuitive to. I feel like there's water in my ear to put something wet in it. Like that makes no sense.
Well,
I mean, this is sorcery. This is
steroid,
witchcraft.
Right?
Like I want someone to like get a vacuum and like suck the fluid out of there. I think it'd be fine.
Well, they can perforate your eardrum and drain it, but then you have to wait.
Well, Christ, who wants that?
Well, I had it a lot when I was a kid, but that was.
I mean, this
chronic ear infections over here.
Yeah, this is
two sets of tubes.
Yeah, this is like a problem.
Yeah,
this is very annoying, and I'm not happy about it.
You'll survive.
But I'm playing hurt.
You're playing hurt.
I'm here. I'm injured.
You're regular LeBron James.
Exactly.
Well, let's get into it. So WNBA, the Las Vegas Aces sweep the Phoenix Mercury for the third time in 4 years.
Yep.
Third title.
Their third title in 4 years.
So they're the 2025 champions. They are now tied with the Los Angeles Sparks, Phoenix, Mercury, and Detroit Shock for the second all-time in league history most WNBA championships. So the Detroit Shock, for people who don't know, they don't exist anymore.
Who's the all-time? Houston won the first couple.
Yeah,
but they don't exist either.
No,
right?
I think LA. So LA and Phoenix.
Yeah, because Houston I think has a team coming back. Or
they do,
but they had Cheryl Swoops. They won the first 2 or 3. I mean, I was always found it weird that was the franchise that buckled.
That didn't do well. Yeah. So we got to talk about Aja Wilson. She was named the 2025 WNBA Finals Most Valuable Player after averaging 28.5 points, 11.8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal over the 4 finals games. So Wilson became the first player in WNBA history to win Most Valuable Player, Defensive Player of the Year, and WNBA Finals MVP in the same season.
I think it was one of the more dominant WNBA performances by a single player.
I agree. And she is a former Gamecock under Dawn Staley.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to know the lineage of that her players, Dawn Staley's players in the WNBA are killing it. Collier is another one of them, the one that was just the Lynx player that was injured.
But she's
she's a force. And actually they've retired her number.
Yeah, well,
at South Carolina.
But she's she's clearly climbing the ranks of where we're going to talk about like an all-time great.
Yeah.
She's probably there already. I mean,
if
you want to be fair about it, I mean, there's certain, players that we could pick out. I mean, we mentioned the Sparks, so you pick out like Lisa Leslie, right? You'd pick out Cheryl Swoops from the early, you're talking about Taurasi, you're talking about
Bird.
Sue Bird, probably Brittany Griner's in that discussion in my mind.
I would think so, yeah.
But she's right there in that discussion. And A'ja Wilson's there. I mean, she's in that discussion. I mean, I think, and there's certain players that have the impact maybe Rebecca Lobo, just because she meant so much to the WNBA, like, she was that big star coming out of Colorado.
Yeah.
Definitely helped but not that she was like a fantastic player.
She was an establishment player, I will say.
Yeah. I mean, but I think A'ja Wilson is right there in one of those kind of.
She's setting like all sorts of records. So she's the 6th player to win Finals MVP multiple times. Right. She set the record for most points in Game 3 of this, rebounds in a single postseason in Game 4, and then she set the mark for scoring for a single final series, improving upon Cappie Pondexter's previous record of 110 points during the 2007 Finals.
Yeah, I mean,
and so she's like 3rd on the all-time postseason scoring list.
So the other takeaway besides her dominance is the officiating in the WNBA is taking a lot of heat in the playoffs.
They've been taking they've been taking a lot of heat all season.
They have,
long.
and
it's not something new.
The
because we've been talking about
coach
it.
Was thrown out.
Lynx.
The Lynx coach was thrown out in Game 4 in the finals. Obviously there was the Collier play.
But that play was clean.
But I mean, but I'm still saying there's been this controversy around their officiating. Really,
listen, the fighting.
Caitlin Clark has gotten roughed up.
Let me tell you, it's not just Caitlin Clark. I mean, there's a bunch of they're beating the crap out of each other under the basketball hoop, which is fine. Whatever. I mean, this is not, like we said before, the NBA went through this
before Magic and Larry.
Correct.
That's when they went through that.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the officiating needs to be on top of it. They need to hold like everybody's like, oh well, the girls playing or women playing blah blah blah, and you're just like no. Like you gotta be on top of it. You have to set a no tolerance policy. You have to have the players play clean and not.
I was gonna say nobody wants to see when you see basketball. Nobody wants to see a wrestling match.
No,
it's not appealing in a basketball game.
I will say this is growing pains, but it needs to be handled appropriately, and there needs to be a plan postseason to be like, okay, this is how we're going to handle it. And oh, by the way, it's not a bad thing to go to the NBA refs and say, hey, guys and gals, how you're reffing the NBA games, what things could you give us feedback on for our refs to handle situations like
and how you control really big, strong, fast, athletic men and keep that from devolving into a wrestling
and decorum.
Match.
It's a basic level of decorum and like how you can do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for help from somebody who's obviously done it before.
It makes a beautiful game ugly, and basketball can, at a high level is a very pretty game to watch.
Absolutely,
watching guys players run the fast break and watching ball rotation and watching, just kind of that individual creativity. And when it devolves into a wrestling match, when someone goes under the rim, they're going to get hammered.
Like pulling hair and throwing people down and, it's just poking in the eyes. It's like all this stuff is like.
And again, it's not about, I don't want to see touch fouls. I don't see guys players flopping.
No.
But I want to see. I
want to see good skill.
I don't want to see someone. Listen, I have no trouble with a good hard foul.
No.
Somebody's going to the basket. Good hard foul, so they don't get a 3-point play. I always say get your money's worth, but don't take their head off either. That's not, as you said. Don't even jerk someone down by the hair. Get them with the body. With the hack.
Yeah.
Make sure you get them.
Just an old-fashioned foul.
But but you don't need to. Yeah.
You don't need to go after it.
And by the way, I gotta tell you, the WNBA commissioner looks out of her depth.
Oh my God, she's been out of her depth for years, and you and I both talked about that. I think that she is just like, listen, she's not my favorite person. I think she's doing a mid job at best. Mediocrity you cannot have in this position.
Questionable if it's mid.
Well, all right, I'm being generous.
You are. I think that's
being very generous here. But here's my thought. Mediocrity is not going to move the needle forward, and it's not going to push. And you have to make some big waves, and she is not the person to do it.
Well, here's the thing. She's doing the F up, move up, though, because the popularity is there.
But
it's growing despite her. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not growing.
She's not capitalizing.
It's not growing because of her. It's growing in spite of her.
Correct.
So she's saying, "Oh, look at the better TV contract. They should be kissing should be kissing my, my rear end or whatever she said.
Done better.
They should be on their knee." What she made some sort of comment like that. But the point is, it's just because there's the popularity, the demand is there. And so she's like, "Oh, look at the job I'm doing." Nah,
Honey,
again,
just because you are the commissioner doesn't mean that you're good at what
that's
you're
like
doing.
Roger Goodell saying, "Well, look at the TV contract I negotiated." Dude, it's
No.
like, come on, nobody's like, he doesn't go brag about that because they're like, God, anybody could negotiate. They're going to pay you a bunch of money for this.
Right. It's ridiculous. So yeah, she needs to do better or step aside and
because it is a good. They have a product that people want to see. Now, my only issue with them is I think I would be sliding. I would start a little earlier and try to get done before you get into the meat of the NFL and college football, because I do think it gets drowned out a little bit.
It gets very much drowned out by that. I would love it if there was some overlap from the NBA Finals and WNBA starting, because I think it's
because think about what was going on. We have the college football season, you have the NFL, you have baseball playoffs, and WNBA gets lost in the shuffle. Yeah, I mean, any sport's going to get lost in the shuffle, but they're where you're fighting for relevancy and eyes, and I think so. I just didn't love that. Again, I think that's things that can be adjusted.
I think absolutely it could be adjusted. All right, let's swing over to the sister organization, the NBA. All right, so
we're on the precipice of NBA tip-off.
Yeah, we're on the precipices, but here's the thing: we got LeBron, who we both know Father Time is catching up to rather quickly.
I know, but it's still amazing.
Still amazing. So he's out for the first few weeks. He's got sciatica that's running down the right side of his body. And
dude, that's like old man injury. I mean, it's sort of fun. It's funny. It's not like he had like a sprained knee. He's got sciatica.
It's like I looked up his injury. I was like, oh, is it groin? Because he's had groin injuries in the past. And I was like, oh, maybe it's ankle groin. It's like sciatica. I was laughing pretty good about that one.
I mean, what?
But it's right side sciatica. Going down the right side.
Did he lose his dentures too? I mean, seriously. No, I mean, listen. I am making fun.
Sciatica is no joke.
No, I don't think it's a joke. But I'm saying, like, dude, I feel like I should have sciatica. Like, but LeBron and I are like the same age.
Well, right. So it's like
we actually are not that far apart age-wise.
No. I think LeBron and I are the same age. Because I believe he is 41 years old, maybe 42. But he so he's got sciatica running down the right side of his body, according to the Lakers, and he won't be reevaluated for another 2 to 3 weeks.
He's 40. He's got a birthday in the end of the year.
Oh, so he's 4. He's younger than me. Yeah. But they're like, we're not even going to reevaluate him for a couple of weeks. And he's not. He's been limited to light shooting in training camp.
I mean, it is like when you said to me,
sitting out every practice.
I knew he was hurt. It was out with sciatica.
I made a note. It's like Father Time's creeping on in there, buddy. So this may or may not be his last season, but you never know.
Well, he's obviously look. I think LeBron's on a year-to-year basis.
Yeah,
and I think he's earned the right to be on a year-to-year basis. Much like Tom Brady was kind of did a year-to-year thing. Ray Lewis was kind of doing that at the end. Certain kind of transformational players kind of get that right, and LeBron certainly has it.
Absolutely.
I mean, but look, the Lakers are going to be Luka's team, and LeBron knows that.
Yeah, so he's there to basically hand the torch.
Yeah, and
while he's hanging out on the bench.
Yeah, but I mean, look, when LeBron, yes, he misses games now because he's injured in the last couple of years. But man, when he's playing, he's still scoring 25, 10, and 8. He's still a monster.
Yeah.
And by the way, I
couldn't do it.
Still wouldn't want to see him driving the lane. I wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want to be 25 and say, "Hey, take the charge from LeBron James at 41 coming down." He got that old man strength.
I would just, I'd be moving right out of the way. I wouldn't be doing that.
I feel like him hitting sciatica, it's just like ripe for Kevin Hart to be making jokes like the commercials they already do.
Oh yeah.
They may point out candy,
giving
kids candy, butterscotch candy, no wrappers on it. Man, it's nasty.
Yeah. Crazy. All right, NFL. Let's get that out of the way.
A lot going on in the NFL.
There's a lot of so
here's a question for you.
Sure.
Who's the best team in the NFL right now?
I don't know.
I know.
I made that point in my notes today. I was thinking, listen, the season is wide open.
But that's what the NFL wants. The NFL does not want a best team. They want parity. They want everybody interested.
Well, I got to tell you, having not paid attention to my Pats for the last couple of years, because
they're playing pretty well.
Let me tell you, the 23-year-old Drake May. Is looking pretty good the last couple. And it was funny, my cousin Joey was in town last Thursday. We had dinner together. He and his family came down to spend some time. And I looked at him and I go, "Hey man, Drake May." And he was like, "I know, right?" Like, so we, at that moment, we're like, This is interesting for us. Like usually I'm totally disassociating at the Pats or being like, oh, well, I'll look at the score if it's worth watching.
According to ESPN, the power rankings, the number 1 team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
That's who they have number 1.
Well, let me tell you something. That's not surprising to me because they're playing really good football.
He's playing MVP. He's right now, if I had a vote, he would be my MVP.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Ravens, the Eagles, and the Bills all lost.
Well, the Ravens, that's all they do is lose.
They're, I
1-5.
Yeah, but the injuries are really plaguing
I know,
the
but
Ravens.
it also
This is like the O's.
they look broken.
They do not look cohesive.
And I think they've looked like now I thought last week the defense played hard for the first time really that they've actually played well against a pretty good Rams offense.
Yeah.
But Cooper Rush, they brought him in to be a serviceable backup in case Lamar got hurt. He got benched. It looks like one of the worst signings that Eric DeCosta, who's been historically a very good GM.
She could get Flacco, for God's sake.
I know. I would have brought Joe home.
I mean,
well, by the way, with Tyler Huntley in there, you have a guy that plays more like Lamar. Okay,
yeah.
He's not Lamar, but he runs and
the
throws
style.
that style.
Yeah.
You bring in. I don't understand getting a backup quarterback. Like I thought the best backup the Ravens ever had for Lamar was RG3.
Yes.
Because man, again, RG3, especially before he got hurt, was a lot like
it was
Lamar.
Like
Again, he wasn't. The problem is RG3 is not as evasive. Like he's fast, but he's a hurdler. He just gets hit hard. Yeah. Like Lamar never gets hit hard.
No,
Lamar hurt his hamstring. He wasn't from a hit. But yeah, Cooper Rush is like a drop back quarterback. It made no sense to me. And it's showing why. And he just doesn't look very good.
Well, and it's hard to. The offense is made really for and around Lamar, and it's really hard to plug and play
a guy that doesn't
an
play
old school
style.
quarterback that is not really hip to that thing.
And so the question is, has John Harbaugh lost the team? I think he has. The Ravens are on a bye. I'd fire Harbaugh today because you fire him on the bye week, so you have like 2 weeks. I think it's a lost season regardless. I would get a jump on it. And I think John Harbaugh, I think he will be a coach in the NFL next year. But I think
how long has he been with the Ravens? A long
like 16
time.
years.
I was gonna say,
and your message, I think, is – but it's one of the first time I've ever thought, like, when they were playing the Chiefs, it looked like guys were sort of quitting on him.
They weren't putting in the effort. I noticed that. They were kind of like giving up the ghost halfway through.
And that's not what the Ravens have historically done.
They play hard till the very end.
And, that's sort of, I mean, it is a joke. The Ravens talk about, like, that guy's a Raven or play like a Raven, kind of these beliefs that they have. And they look at guys like, oh, that guy's going to be a Raven. Like, he's our kind of guy.
Yeah, he's got the grit and determination.
Yeah, that they look for.
That kind of matches the grit and determination of Baltimore as a city.
I will point out, I'm not a fan of John Harbaugh. I don't know how a guy who gets paid by the Baltimore Ravens, who are supported by Baltimoreans, would travel to D.C.
and hang out with 47.
Hang out with a man who calls Baltimore a quote unquote shithole. That's his words, not mine.
Yeah, of course.
A cesspool. Everything else he's done to describe it. I just don't know how you go and associate with him. So I'm not a fan of John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I think
he's
not down for his town.
No.
And
I think he's lost the he's lost the edge maybe. Yeah. And I think also he's lost a little bit of the sparkle that he once had.
And look, and I think there are lots of Ravens fans in Baltimore that don't love him, and he didn't help himself by running down.
I agree.
But for someone who's tearing in specifically to the Charm City.
I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, like that.
The optics weren't good on that.
Okay, if he was 5-1, sure, they'd be living with it. But when you're 1-5, and then you were down there with a guy who's saying what a dumpster fire, how it's a war zone, and that's not true about Baltimore. Murder rates are lower than they've been in like 10, 15 years. Mayor Scott doing a great job. His team. Shout out to him. And so someone who's just saying things that aren't true.
Yeah.
And then you're down there with him. Yeah. So, I'd fire John Harbaugh. I'd have fired him actually before the season started.
Yeah, I think
if I was the owner of
because you're just like, look, the optics aren't good.
It isn't optics for our fan base.
Well, right. And it's not really what the Ravens or the city of Baltimore stand for. So I will say the Eagles also are just like can't get out of their own way. They do really, really well first half, second half. They lose the game. I don't.
The Eagles don't look like they can run the ball somehow.
No.
So they've really struggled to run the ball. Is Lane Johnson out? They have somebody. Somebody's out on the offensive line.
I think Lane Johnson is out.
But the offense has struggled to run the ball.
Yes.
The Eagles run the ball.
Yep.
And when they run the ball,
they do well.
Because what that does is you have to bring an extra safety down in the box. That's how you get the one-on-ones with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. That's not happening. Hurts looks reluctant to throw the ball deep.
I just think Hurts hasn't thrown an interception this year, and I think that he's freaked out. Just do it. There's something seems to be like a mental block here.
It's like he doesn't he hasn't thrown an interception because he hasn't let it rip.
Yeah,
you gotta let that ball rip.
I just think that there's a block there.
Yeah.
For whatever reason that is.
So the Eagles have looked
not great.
They're like meh.
The Chiefs,
Buffalo, you thought was great.
God,
Buffalo's lost 2 in a row.
They have.
They lost. They got beat up. They got beat up yesterday in Atlanta.
Yeah.
By the way,
Falcons look pretty good.
They did. An NFL complaint. Why are we playing 2 Monday Night Football games every week now? What the hell's going on?
Listen.
Come on, man.
Sunday
what the hell?
is enough.
I know.
Sprint.
So we got Sunday night.
We got Sunday, Monday, Thursday.
And now we got 2 on Monday.
I'm like, let's just pick one game. Don't do an extra late game. I can't stay up. You definitely can't stay up.
No, I felt.
And I'm like, I've tried to watch the game last night, and listen.
I was trying to watch the Commanders game. I was.
I watched a good amount of the game last night, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm exhausted.
Okay, you're gonna be surprised. I didn't make it to halftime.
No, really?
I woke up after the fact.
You gotta be
I know, hard to believe. I know.
I cannot believe
everybody who's listening here knows that I'm like Mr. Stay Up Late.
I mean, you are like a night
I know,
owl.
exactly, right? I know, shock. I mean, I was up at 4 this morning, so they had that going for me.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I dozed off at 9-ish. It was definitely second quarter action.
Amuse bouche nap.
Yeah. The last thing I remember was the second quarter. I definitely did not see halftime. No chance.
So the Chiefs won against the Lions,
but the Chiefs have been playing well.
They've been playing well,
better the last couple weeks.
Better last couple weeks, but they got the wind knocked out of their sails going into the season, and I think that it's good.
Yeah, but
like I said, it is wide open. There's really no clear favorites.
Baker Mayfield? The Steelers are 4-1. Most people think that's a very weak 4-1. They haven't played anybody.
They haven't played anybody.
I mean, they were in a dogfight with the Jets. By the way, if you watched, the Jets had like 90 yards of offense last week. Jets bad football. 0-6.
Yeah.
By the way, Tennessee, Callahan was fired. I think Brian Callahan, so the first coach has already bit the dust in the NFL.
Well, Harbaugh might be second.
And he was only like 23 games in his career in. So he's gone in Tennessee. But the NFL is definitely wide open.
I kind of like it, actually. I think it's interesting. First time in a long time, we're like, oh, Eagles look really good. First couple weeks, and now here's the other thing. The first 2 to 3 weeks of the NFL, always the best teams shine.
Yeah.
Then what happens? You play, you get injured, you get in the schedule, and it's like most players have described this, and you and I have talked about this several times. It's like being in a car accident. Every week. And then how you rehab from that and come back from that, and nagging injuries really that you could handle in the preseason now are like rearing their ugly heads, and you are not getting the amount of rest that you probably need between games. Now, that being said, now is when you need to be winning games, not the first 3 weeks. And now it's sort of like there's tons of losses. Everybody's lost the game. Nobody's totally undefeated.
Yeah, Dolphins, 72 Dolphins, going to pop that champagne corks one more time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I feel like it could be anybody's year.
Yeah, but it
keeps me interested in watching the game. It also like evens the playing field where there's certain games that you pull up and you're like, I'm not watching that.
The Ravens are so bad, though, I find myself being disinterested.
So you're like me with my Pats.
Right.
I was not interested.
Right.
I was paying attention, but I wasn't.
Not enough that you were going to like stop your week.
No,
you're not like
not enough for me to be like, you know what, guys, I can't go to dinner tonight because the Pats are playing.
Correct. If I have something going on, or the Ravens are going to bye this weekend, but if I had something going on, if I was driving down to see my daughter in College Park, it wouldn't be like, oh, I need to be somewhere and watch Maryland play or watch
the Ravens play.
Watch the Ravens play. No, that wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying. It's not taking priority, and I also feel like in this house, the Eagles and Philadelphia sports take priority in this house, which is fine. But I also, the Eagles games, have been hard
No,
to bear
yeah.
because it's just like, ugh.
Well, the game last week, not this one, not the most recent, the week
No,
before.
week before was tough.
Against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 times in a row with the tush
Yep.
push. It's
Mhm.
boring. Like, it's boring football, too.
Like we need to, like it's the same thing over and
Yeah.
over again, and it's very predictable. And I think they're in a rut. I think the Eagles are in a rut.
Yeah.
And I think they need to figure out what to do and figure it out. And I think Jalen has some sort of block at the moment, which can happen. He's got the yips, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's something, but yeah, the
There's
NFL is
something
definitely
keeping him from rocketing that ball.
But
down
the NFL
field.
is definitely wide open this year.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
So.
Oh, by the way, Bad Bunny is doing the halftime show. I'm really excited about that.
That's a very nasty guy. You know what? He's not even an American. Okay, he's Puerto Rican. No, I'm just kidding. I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, we know. I just for the sake of everybody that might be a new listener, we do know that Puerto Rico is a part of the United States, and we do know that Bad Bunny is an American citizen.
Yes, he is,
and he happens to be bilingual.
Yeah, and he has done a lot for his
Puerto
home
Rico.
island. Yes.
Yeah, and honestly,
his home island, an American protectorate, right? An American.
So
but he's done a lot for it because by doing the residency of shows, he has generated millions upon millions of tourism dollars.
Yeah, to Puerto Rico.
By the way, the people that are upset that we, not an American. By the way, we've had like multiple non-Americans. The Weeknd is a Canadian.
Yeah.
But there's
Shakira.
Shakira. Yeah.
Who else did we have recently?
But we've had multiple non-Americans. So
yeah, the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Right.
What are we doing here? My thought is this. Bad Bunny also hosted SNL.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Loved it. And he gave half of his monologue in Spanish. And he goes, if you didn't understand what I said, you got 4 months to learn.
Yes.
So if anybody that is thinking about brushing off their Espanol, go for it. Now's the time.
Well, I just think it's, I was just...
I was like, Bad Bunny, bring it. Let's do it.
I thought it was hilarious how easily folks are tricked.
I know. It's ridiculous.
And by the way, the NFL, I mean...
My dad's I don't know this person.
Roger Goodell's like the ultimate sycophant. So he's not trying to like troll.
He's not in charge of entertainment.
Right.
Jay-Z is in charge of entertainment. Right. And here's the other thing. My dad perfectly summed this up. He goes, I haven't watched the Super Bowl halftime show in years. I'm not about to start now.
And by the way, all of the boomers that are upset about it, the halftime show isn't for them. It's like we talked about this a couple years ago, right? People were mad about like the West Coast rappers.
That's us.
This is
for us.
It is for Gen X. Why? We are the ones with at the peak of your buying power. That's who they're trying to appeal to.
Yeah, they don't care about.
That's why, Kendrick Lamar. He's 38 years old. Okay, he's a late Gen Xer, popular amongst Gen Xers. That's who they're trying to appeal to. Yeah. Bad Bunny, popular amongst Gen Xers and millennials and the like. They don't care about the boomers.
They don't really. And my dad's but to my dad's point, I have not watched a Super Bowl halftime show.
Right.
In years.
Right.
I'm not going to start now.
Yeah.
He says, if anything, it ruins the game. He's like, people show up for the commercials and the halftime show that normally never watch football all season long. They have a party with their friends and they do the thing. And my dad's like, I want to watch a good game. At the end of the day, I want to watch a good football game. I don't care about any of the other stuff going on. So if you have a problem with Bad Bunny, be like my dad and just turn it off. Leave the room.
But you know what? Nobody else. Turn it off. You know what they're going to do? They're going to get up, go to the bathroom, have some to eat, and they're going to have it on, and they're not going to, and you know what? Their kids are going to watch it, and their kids are going to be excited about it, and you're going to sit there and shut up.
It'll be fine. Hey, you might even, like it. So college football, I was camping in the woods with no service off the grid and loved every second.
And I broke some news to you, though.
You did.
Big game James.
Out.
James Franklin, out after 12 years at Penn State.
Fired. Canned, and Penn State thought it was worth paying him the $55 million buyout.
55 million reasons to get rid of the guy.
My God. The Nittany Lions are a lot lighter in the pocketbook these days.
No doubt a lot of this being funded by Terry Pagula, who is the owner of the Buffalo Bills and a very proud Penn State alum.
Sure.
So I'm sure
he's probably just writing a check.
I'm sure they had to look to Terry for some of this cash. But yeah, it's
and then Terry,
but James Franklin, look, very successful, except
when he needed
against top 5 and top 10 teams.
Yeah, I mean that's why
he is known as Big Game James.
So Big Game James is out. Terry Smith is the interim coach. Penn State also lost last week to Northwestern. So congratulations, Terry Smith, on your new appointment.
Yeah, Penn State will get a lot of attention. You'll see. I
maybe
think
Harbaugh will go there.
Maybe, but
Close.
I think the one that you would a lot of people will look for will be Matt Rule at Nebraska.
Yeah.
He played linebacker at Penn State. He says he's there to Nebraska to stay, but he's a Penn State alumnus. So I think he would be right at the top of their list.
Sure.
I think Cignetti at Indiana, who got a huge win last week over Oregon, or Oregon. But I think Cignetti, because look, I know he has a contract. It would cost them some millions to buy him out for Indiana, but Indiana is not a program that has invest the money like Penn State does.
No.
So Cignetti would be, I think, another probably top tier candidate for that job.
Yeah.
There's some, hey, watch out for the guy, I'm blanking on his name, at Vanderbilt, winning a lot of games at Vanderbilt.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was a defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, so he understands big-time football.
Yeah.
He would clearly be, I think, a candidate for one of those Power 5, Power 4 jobs, or bigger Power 4 jobs. So, I mean, those are all names to watch. Guy at South Florida's got the program going, so I think he would be a second-tier kind of coach. I think Penn State would love to hire like a Cignetti or
not Belichick?
No, jeez.
Kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Well, Jordan might not like it, and she likes Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
He says he's not being bought out, Bill Belichick, but that is
he's totally being bought out.
That is a very strange situation going on in Chapel Hill.
It's ridiculous. What I think is really funny, kind of circling back to the Pats, Drake May he's a former Tar Heel. So it's like, this is fantastic.
Yeah. So some interesting games this week coming, including Tennessee, Alabama, where the winner like smokes cigars. So it's very strange to see like college kids in a locker room, which is clearly a no smoking venue.
Right. It's a tradition.
Some tradition.
A weird tradition.
It is a weird tradition. Like the winner smokes cigars. It's like, how'd you come up with that tradition?
Because
but that's the tradition.
Because like 50 years ago,
somebody like forgot their cigars or something.
Yeah, so they were just like, we're gonna smoke cigar. We're just gonna make it a rule.
Yeah. So, but no, there's that. I think that's a big game. LSU and Ole Miss and Georgia be a big game this week. Notre Dame, USC. So there's some big games.
That'll be good.
But yeah, your Buckeyes right now seem to be the clear number one team in America.
I would agree with that.
Miami's lurking at 2, Indiana 3. Indiana and Miami both have some really good wins.
They do.
I don't know that Ohio State has a great win. They beat Texas, but now Texas has sort of struggled. Hasn't looked great. They did beat Oklahoma last
they
week.
also beat Washington, which is pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. A win is a win. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I'm not diminishing. I'm just saying.
Tough team.
Yeah.
They've got to beat a tough team.
Yeah.
Competitive team. Maryland. I want to talk about Maryland real quick.
4-2, easily.
Listen.
Or 5 minutes away from being 6-0. They've squandered 2 fourth-quarter leads.
They have, but they're also playing some like really big games. They are holding on. They're not getting crushed. They're not getting blown out.
It would have been nice to get one of those.
I agree.
Both of them at home against Washington. You're up 10.
I know.
And you lose, or you're up 20. It was 20-3 in the fourth quarter, and you lose 24-20.
That's insane.
That's bad.
That's very bad.
And then against Nebraska, you were down 10 twice, ended up 7, lose.
Yeah.
So it's a couple tough losses for Maryland. I do think Loxley's got the program sort of back on. Look, 3 straight bowl games.
Yeah.
As people criticize Lox, like, get over yourself. But last year, he said, I lost the locker room with the NIL money. He said, that crap all stays at the door.
Listen, I got to tell you something.
I think Maryland's got a lot of freshmen playing, and they're playing good football. I think Lox got the program. He saw the shortcomings on his part, has kind of rebalanced it. I'd like to see Loxley get over the edge. Part of it is like, and it might not be Lox's thing to have that minute attention to details. He's got to have somebody. Maryland takes stupid penalties. Like, I mean, they get an interception and then they get a roughing the passer after the interception. So it didn't switch back the interception, but it was an unnecessary cheap shot. Stupid stuff. Like, Maryland's got to be better than that.
Well,
it needs someone to hold players accountable.
I just want to say, for all college coaches, especially college coaches that have been in for a while and they're navigating the NIL, that is a huge thing. Yeah. There's a steep learning curve on that. And I think that now, this season and subsequent seasons after this, you're going to have those things kind of locked in. And I think they've got that down. And I think Loxley's got a handle on it now. So I think that's always good.
If you don't like Loxley, one of those rumors is, where does James Franklin end next? James Franklin, remember, he was the coach in waiting at the University of Maryland, has great ties to the DMV. I think he's a sneak.
I don't like him.
I thought he undermined Ralph Friedgen, who is the best coach Maryland's ever had.
Yeah.
But there seems to be little doubt that if he wants to, that Big Game James will be at a big-time coaching next year. A lot of people think there could be an opening in Florida. Billy Napier's in trouble. So, but Big Game James, but, he definitely has a lot of ties to the DMV.
Well, he's going to pack it up and find someplace else to go. MLB, our favorite time of year.
Yeah.
It's playoffs.
Playoff time.
Got Seattle and our favorite team, Toronto Blue Jays. And then you've got LA and the Brewers. So Seattle and Toronto are battling it out. But I will say Seattle's up 2-0.
Let me tell you, Seattle goes 15 frickin' innings. You're going to find it hard to believe. I did not see the end of that one either on Friday night, Saturday morning, I should say.
Yeah.
They catch a flight, get in very late Saturday night.
And then have to play.
And then play Sunday night and win in Toronto. Then back it up and win again yesterday, 2-0.
2-0. I mean, that's the thing. So they're like...
And Toronto, it was tailor-made for Toronto to jump on them. Toronto crapped the bed, which makes me happy.
Yeah.
Toronto playing New York, I was trying to figure out how can they both lose.
Same, dude.
But this one makes it easy for me to be for Seattle.
I guess go Mariners.
The big dumper.
Yeah.
So Seattle, I like them there. And then, you got the Dodgers and the Brewers.
Dodgers are up 1-0. They play tonight.
Blake Snell looks like, every year there's that pitcher that emerges that's like so dominant and it's like puts a team on his back. That's Blake Snell right now. Obviously, the guy's won 2 Cy Youngs, one in for the Padres, one for the Rays, pitching for the Dodgers, and he's been just straight nails. He retired 24 batters.
Yeah.
He faced the minimum over 8 innings. He did give up 1 hit. It was erased by double play. The last guy in a divisional series or in an NLCS or World Series to retire 24 straight batters, Don Larson.
Whoa.
A perfect game. Last time it's happened. So
it's
that's
been a
how
while.
Good Blake Snell was.
And honestly,
I think Larson threw the perfect game. Was he like 56, 54, somewhere around there?
Yeah, well before my time.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah. But what I will say is LA is also returning world champs.
Yep.
They're looking good.
And then you and I were obviously, as you said, in your house here on Podcast Hill, Phillies kind of fans. I like the Phillies in terms of that's who I've sort of wanted to come out of the National League because I do really I've always liked the way Bryce Harper plays baseball. I like Schwarby. I just like some of their guys, some of the grit, the moxie.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
they're out on an error.
Yeah.
And I will say, as a Red Sox fan, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
See Bill Buckner.
That's right. Right. Asterisk, see Bill Buckner. So close, but yet so far away. I think the Phillies had a really good season. I think they ran out of steam at the end. They couldn't quite get there. And I think the Dodgers, all in all, better team.
And what do the Phillies do, though? Do they run it back? I mean, they got some free agents, most notably Schwarber.
I would try to maintain that same team. I'd probably get some new talent, some...
Is Schwarber go, though?
I don't know. Yeah. I like Schwarby where he is, and I think Schwarby likes being in Philly.
I think he does, too. I think the Phillies would want to do something short for big money, like
probably
3 years, like $120 million.
Sure, and that's
something
fine.
Short as Schwarby, but somebody might offer him $200 million, and money talks, and
we'll just have to wait.
BS takes the bus.
Hot stove heating up, man.
So
we'll have to see. I mean, I feel like.
I think the Dodgers are gonna be a handful for the Brewers, even though the Brewers, they're they get made fun of like they're a bunch of nobodies or people don't know. Been the best
really
team in baseball.
Best team, yeah. I was gonna say.
Man, the Dodgers.
They have a deep bench.
Yeah, they do, and they got the guy they brought in from Japan, not.
Oh yeah, not Ohtani,
the other guy who is, man, like he has been dotting the I this postseason. Like he has been, talk about nails. So you got Snell and him back to back. You're going to see Ohtani at some point in time because they're healthy. And
that's the thing. They're healthy at the end of the season.
Yes, they had enough talent because they have unlimited payroll to make it to this point, and now they're all healthy.
Yeah.
Freddie Freeman, I mean, just ripped one last night. Mookie's played better in the postseason. Max Muncy's looking good. Very weird. Did you see the weird double play, though? That very strange play. Google it if you didn't see it.
Well, Kike Hernandez.
Kike, they're both Hernandezes play great, and they're postseason kind of guys. But the Dodgers just are one of those teams that are a problem in the postseason because they have such talent. One of the things the Dodgers is, can you get to their bullpen? That's where their weakness. I think their Achilles here. Their bullpen isn't great. Can the Brewers get into their bullpen early? Yeah. If you're going to beat the Dodgers, you have to get into their bullpen.
But I'm telling you, their pitchers are pretty rock solid.
Right. But if they're starters, when you have Snell's handing it over to the closer, who by the way struggled. Yeah. And did you see the Brewers guy could have bases loaded? He could have taken one, and he's like, at post game, he's like, I should have let it hit me. It's just that natural reaction to pull back. Right. He's like, of course I should have taken that one. It was an off speed, but he could have taken about an 83-mile-an-hour ball into the thigh. Oh. He steps back because that's what you do.
I'm sorry, that's a normal human response.
But he said, like, under normal circumstances, yes, of course I should have just not gotten out of the way. Yeah,
but it's a reflex.
It is. No, I mean, I think the Dodgers are good. The Brewers need to get this.
They need to get a win tonight.
At home. If they go down 2-0 to the Dodgers, they're going to have their hands full. Yeah. Again, I think the pitching is going to be great for the Dodgers.
We're in the DMV area. Government shutdown affects our neck of the woods.
It does
pretty severely,
Maryland,
and especially
Maryland, Northern Virginia are very hard. You get hit very hard by this.
So it's still ongoing with no end in sight, and by no means a democratic shutdown. I just would like to say that because, on all the government websites it says this is a Democrat shutdown, I believe is the exact wording. So just so we're clear here, the GOP is in control of the House and Senate and the White House.
Correct.
So therefore.
And the Supreme Court, apparently. So you control all branches of government.
All branches of government. And it's getting a tad bit ridiculous. So with the midterms are right around the corner, and I want people to realize this, 2026 is only a few months away. Yes, so it'll be a year in November. We will have midterm elections.
Yes.
It's not looking good for incumbent Republicans who are being sent home, and never in the history of the United States has the Speaker of the House sent everyone home. They're gone.
Right. The House is not. The House is not. They have pro forma sessions, which means you have like two people there.
Yeah.
The House
that's it. There's nobody there. And then he goes on C-SPAN and he's like, this is not our problem, kind of a deal.
Right. The House is like, we've done our work, and
we've done our work, and we're going home. Now, all of these incumbent Republicans in the House are now going home to constituents that are livid.
And they're livid, and because they found out. So what they
found
out is
they've been lied to.
The big goofy bill, the big ugly bill, is killed because look, the Republicans have tried since 2009 when it was enacted. They have spent 16 years trying to kill the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare
for whatever reason. I don't know.
So what they did now is, rather than that, they've attacked the subsidies that help middle and low income folks buy insurance.
Like Tim and I,
right?
Because we're both independent contractors and we do our work.
Right. And I buy now. I don't get subsidized, but I do buy in the in the market, and because my office is a small. But by the way, when I say I don't, but almost all my staff who does, now some of them have it through their spouses, but the rest go to the market and through the Affordable Care Act and buy it. So this affects my staff, my colleagues, associate attorneys, paralegals, administrative staff. All of our folks are affected by this. So there's subsidies for middle income earners and low income earners, and they're taking them away. And so you're going to have millions of Americans that will not renew their health insurance because they can't afford it.
Right.
And the Democrats are saying, no. You got to put these subsidies back just to where they were, to these limits, and then we'll refund the government. The Republicans are saying, no, we won't do that. We'll negotiate, but you just have to sign a clean CR. But by the way, if you sign a clean CR, the time right now is the time for the sign up.
Yep.
So folks there's all this uncertainty about it, whether there's subsidies and whether you're going to be able to afford it or not.
What I would suggest to people that are on the fence, do it.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, the subsidies have been taken out. Yeah, great. But that doesn't mean they won't be retroactively put in place. And if you do not have your application in, then you are out.
Yeah.
So you need to just do it, have it in.
You could always cancel it and not.
Yeah, you can always cancel your. You can always
if
cancel
there's no if there's no subsidies.
If there's no subsidies and you're
you can't afford it, then you can cancel it. But you're right. This is the enrollment period. Yep.
Get enrolled, re-enroll if you have to renew it. Do the thing you need to do, and then to be quite honest with you, the thing is that you have to be able to go to your person who's your representative, and you need to say, like, this is a problem, and you need to call your representative. The thing is that the Democrats who apparently shut down the government are the only ones there.
Right.
AOC is giving tours to high school students that save up all year to come to Washington, D.C. to be able to go through the Capitol building and,
that's
all
pretty cool for those kids.
Absolutely. To have AOC give you a tour. But the thing is like, they're here ready to work. And that's the other thing. The government shutdown does not affect Congress. They still are getting a paycheck.
Absolutely.
So they're getting paid to do nothing. I just hope that people understand that the government is supposed to work for you and what you want. And the person that you elect is supposed to be a conduit of what you want and not necessarily what their vision is. Well, and I think that people lose that.
Did you see who's been very critical of the Republicans is Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yes, that's shocking.
Because guess why?
Her kids.
Her kids and her constituency, these are folks, they're buying insurance. So it's funny. All these people everybody hates Obamacare.
Until it affects. Here's the thing. The GOP notoriously
hates things until it affects them.
Correct.
Like, which I've always really struggled with is the GOP's position on like gay marriage. So many of these guys, I always talk about Senator Rob Portman out of Ohio.
Yeah.
And he was very critical, very ardently against gay marriage until he has a son that is a gay man and wanted to be married. Well, now, I've changed. So that isn't right.
No.
That's hypocrisy.
Yep.
Now, me saying I'm a cisgender, straight, heterosexual man. If I sit there and say to you, with all honesty, I evolved on gay marriage over the last quarter century.
Sure.
Okay? I evolved. It did not impact my immediate family. It wasn't because my child decided to be gay. No, I just evolved. I thought, the more I thought about it, I thought, because marriage in a lot of ways is a governmental benefit, right? It affects trust me, as someone who's not married anymore, it affects you and Tim get a better tax deal than I do as a single male. Sort of bothers me.
That's okay. But you have a kid, so
there's certain things. But it also it controls about like inheritance.
Inheritance also
about decision making for healthcare.
Exactly.
And so, the more I looked at it, I thought, I'm not a very religious person, and with no pun intended, God bless those folks that are. But marriage is in many ways it's a governmental certificate that confers lots of benefits to folks.
Yeah.
And
protections.
And that's why I evolved. Okay.
Well, also, gay marriage who it affects? Gay people.
Right. And what my answer was, and again, me and everybody else, that joke, hey, they can be as miserable as heterosexuals.
Absolutely.
And as a lawyer, I said, this is a boondoggle for domestic relations attorneys.
Yes, 100%. Gay people get divorced too.
And one of my very good friends, a gay man in the area, was joking about, you've never seen anything till you see two, he's as a gay man was joking to see two gay men fighting over who owns this Chippendale. I said they'll spend thousands of dollars. He agrees. Boondoggle for lawyers.
Yeah.
But my point was, I was like, you know what? I did evolve because of what it stands for. I evolved because it doesn't affect my life. If you want to marry a chair, I don't care. If a man wants to marry a man, great. Wants to marry a woman, great. Wants to marry a chair, I don't. Again,
it's not affecting you. But I think so.
But when they evolve, as we're back to the point, when the Republicans evolve, when it only affects them personally, that's not evolution. That's hypocrisy.
Right, exactly. And I think
my son's gay, so gay marriage should be good for everybody. No, well, why was you were sitting there calling them the Antichrist 6 months before.
Right.
And yeah, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, these Republicans that are, oh yeah, Obamacare, and you can.
And then when her kids are out of the house and can't afford
health
anything,
insurance. Well, now it's like, what the hell? Who's doing this?
Yeah, and she's like, wait a minute. Oh, you did it.
Yeah.
At least.
But to her credit, she's
speaking up about
yes.
it, and she's also speaking up loudly about the survivors of the Epstein sexual assault.
And she's also she's been tearing into Mike Johnson, saying like, "Hey, what the hell? Like
we want to come back."
Not only she's been tearing into him about like, "Hey, why is it you guys are so weak? You only have men running committees."
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, and very much like, what about women in power here? Like, this isn't why we have one woman chair.
Yeah.
And so, so I thought, rarely would I utter the words "good for Marjorie Taylor Greene."
Yes, but it's just it's shocking to say that, but also we also know that she's correct in saying these things, and it's actually like, oh well, you're stating a fact that's really difficult for us to comprehend because you have been not doing that.
I just rarely ever hear her say exactly. It's so
like, wait a minute, is this AI? Like, what's going on?
It's like, come on, is she dead and they didn't tell us this weekend at Bernie's moment? What's going on here, man?
I will also like to give a nice shout out to George Stephanopoulos.
Oh, when he cut off JD Vance.
Yes.
Epic.
Who asked a question, very straightforward question, got the runaround, the basic stuff, and then said, I have not done the things that you're accusing me of. I asked you a very simple question, and you seem to not want to answer it.
Thanks
Thank you very much. And then cut him off. And he goes, wait, George. Yeah. And then cut him off. Yeah. And what I love the most is he went to commercial. Yeah. And the commercial was Maybelline eyeliner.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, just happened to be very karmic, and I thought,
I saw that too, and I thought, man, that is
how you deal with these people.
Yeah,
you deal with the people saying, well, you're not answering my questions, so I'm not going to waste my time on you. Goodbye.
Well, and it wasn't just like, hey, we're used to politicians saying, hey, Liddy, that's a great question, but the question you should have answered. They pivot, okay?
Yeah.
But Vance did ask a question, all the stuff, and this is why your ratings are failing. Mm-hmm. It went on to the ad hominem, okay? So look. Like George Stephanopoulos is used to a politician not answering the question.
Yeah.
What he's saying is, I'm not putting up with this ad hominem nonsense where you tear into us to change the narrative and don't answer the question and say, oh, this is why your ratings. You know what? Fine. If our ratings suck, why are you on the show? Don't come on, man.
Well, I appreciate
Felicia.
Yeah, exactly. What I appreciate about George is him being basically saying, I did not do this. I am not that. This is what I asked. You didn't answer it. Thank you so much for your time. Bye. He did not give him any opportunity to come back on that. And he was the one with the last word. And I think that journalists, especially seasoned journalists or new journalists, that is how you treat these people.
I thought it was great. And by the way, I think do it to Democrats. They don't answer the question. Same thing. If they go on the attack,
say, okay, well,
if
you're
you
not
don't answer a question. No, again, that's political. Hey, Lydia, what color is the sky? Well, listen, we can sit here and talk about whatever the sky is.
Depends
Lydia,
on what time of day it is.
Lydia, look, it's real clear. What color's the sky?
Blue.
But that's okay. And you push back and you try to box them in, and they're going to say, yeah, Lydia, fine. It is blue most of the time, but that's not the point. What you need to be, okay, that's politicians doing politician stuff.
Yeah.
But when you say, if Lydia says to me, hey, Matt, what color is the sky? Lydia, of all the questions, that's why this is a failing podcast. There she goes again.
Yeah.
You people just aren't happy with anything. And next thing you know, you have Bad Bunny doing a Super Bowl show. Why don't you just have Bad Bunny on here? That's next, And that's what they do. And George Stephanopoulos said, nay.
No. So if you are listening to this, just say no, man.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, I'm so sorry. That's not.
Attaboy, George. Attaboy.
Yeah, very good.
Good Greek.
Good Greek.
Yeah.
Stephanopoulos, baby. Yeah. So I will, we have patience until we don't. And I think he handled it beautifully. So we had a couple of losses, some really big, one really big cultural loss, which is Diane Keaton. She died at 79. Apparently she was not well for a couple of months and declined very quickly, according to her friends.
Very famous actress of the 70s, 80s, 90s, even the 2000s.
Yeah.
Obviously, famously paired with Woody Allen.
Al Pacino.
It's Kay Corleone. She's played some iconic roles.
Annie Hall.
Kay Corleone. But she was in a movie where she was the later in life the love interest with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, something's got to give.
Has been the love interest with Warren Beatty. I mean.
Well, she and Warren Beatty dated for a while. So did she and Al Pacino.
Right.
She did date Steve Jobs for a hot minute.
Woody Allen.
Famously.
Yeah. I mean, because Annie Hall was really about their relationship after they were no longer together.
Yep.
in real life, then that was sort of what their relationship looked like.
Father of the Bride with Steve Martin
and
Martin Short.
She was very good in that.
There was one really great thing that I saw. Interview Magazine asked, they were interviewing Martin Short. Actually, Martin Short and Steve Martin were interviewing her for Interview Magazine. And they said, Diane, which one of us do you think is the sexiest? And she goes, well, you're both idiots, which I thought was really wonderful. And she was, what I've heard the most is that she was very kind always.
Yeah.
And she adopted children at the age of 50.
Yeah.
She was famously never married. She says, I was a late developer, and I'm a mom, and, that was her biggest pride and joy. And, so it was really weird to have somebody like that. And we also, Robert Redford also passed away, so we had some really big juggernauts of the entertainment industry go in the last few months. But for Diane Keaton, and especially like the Annie Hall specifically, is such a great note on, and it's just her of being like awkward and in the moment and just like being fine with that, and like that's just how life is. Sometimes you are very
and it's
awkward.
funny, and a lot of people think of her. That's the first movie that comes to mind.
Yeah,
for me, it's Kate Corleone.
Yeah, well, of course,
But I mean, again, that
was her first movie.
Yeah,
she
it was a lot of people's first movie.
She was an original cast member of Hair on Broadway. Yeah, I didn't know that either. She always wanted to be a singer. Not a great singer.
Right. But she was, an iconic.
She was very iconic, and she's, like she played felt real people. Like you didn't feel like she was acting, and I thought that was really lovely. Now, something that hit another person who passed away today, that hit me pretty hard.
It did hit you hard.
Is D'Angelo,
R&B man from
like
back
a
in the
soul,
day.
soul singer from Philadelphia. Really came out of the whole neo soul movement out of Philadelphia with the Roots, Angie Stone, D'Angelo, really amazing.
You said pancreatic, man.
He had pancreatic cancer.
Bad beat.
Yeah,
that's a bad beat.
Yeah, the same thing that Tim's mom had. So I think that it was just something that was like, whoa, okay, that came out of left field. He'd been silently and privately battling pancreatic cancer for a while, but that's something you don't expect out of somebody who was in your mind's eye, because I'll tell you, D'Angelo had this really famous music video. I don't know if you're familiar, but he was basically naked with, singing soul songs to you, which was like very impactful as a young teenager. And I was like, who is this man? That is D'Angelo. And you're just thinking of that man in that video. You're like, how could they possibly be gone? Right.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So
thoughts and prayers, T's and P's.
Right. I mean, seriously. So, Diane Keaton and D'Angelo, I'm sure she would be happy to be in his presence.
Drop a few notes for her.
Absolutely.
But serenade her on the way.
Exactly. So if you haven't listened to D'Angelo in a while, put it on.
It has been a hot minute.
It's really good, man. It's very good. I was surprised.
Very popular with the ladies.
Well, anybody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I love some D'Angelo. And my best friend is...
Listen, fellas. Bust out D'Angelo.
I was going to say...
Good night for you.
I was going to say. Pro tip here.
Yeah. Bust out the D'Angelo.
Bust out the D'Angelo.
You can pretend like it's just like the RIP moment. Just reminiscing. I'm telling you, it's going to work out well.
Maybe. Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll see.
Find out. But yeah, I had to give that terrible news to my best friend Sarah today, who I will say is running for school board District 2 in South Carolina in Spartanburg. So if you're listening in Spartanburg, South Carolina,
we got any polling?
Not yet, but I will tell you. Butler for board is the
nice
alliteration.
Use a number for, or Butler for board, or Butler FOR.
Well, because it's for the Board of Ed, I believe we're going to go with FOR. Yeah. So Butler for board, she's District 2. So if you happen to be listening,
we got a website out there.
We do, yeah.
Right, let's
sarahcbutler.com.
There we go.
You can donate to her campaign. She's killing it. She's going out and talking to the masses and
door knocking,
meeting people, meeting and greeting, answering questions.
Listen, I think there is something romantic about door knocking, and I've done it for people that are running.
Mm-hmm.
It is that true grassroots sweat equity politics.
It also introduces yourself to
it does, and I've done it for folks that were running, and you always had the line. they could have been on the completely other side of town.
Yeah.
And if I was door knocking for Lydia, I'm like, oh, is Lydia around? I'm like, hey, Lydia's a block or two over. I'll get her over here. And you say, I'll make sure she stops by. And you make sure they stop by. And like, oh, hey, one of my guys was out door knocking. No, but it's just the way you meet folks and you understand folks and you relate back to them. And I've done it in battleground states. When West Virginia used to be a battleground state, people might not remember that. In 2004, I was in West Virginia for presidential elections, battleground states.
Yeah.
I did it. Was very proud to do it. Obviously, did not have Al Gore or John Kerry with me, but you still do your door knocking for them. Just saying to folks, hey, like, here's some information. We hope you come out and vote. And there's just something I think romantic and elegant about it. And to be like exhausted and tired and but you connected with hundreds of your fellow citizens. I just love it. So God bless Sarah for out there. Get her out there, door knock Sarah. Sarah, if you're listening, door knock.
She is.
Sarah,
She's planning on it.
Sarah, listen. No matter how tired you are, there's always time to knock on one more door.
Yeah.
Seriously, like this is like, it becomes a mindset and you have to be like.
I have to say that.
For a good local politician to be like, whatever doing, it's like, listen. Your sorry butt does not come in until you've knocked on 200 doors today, and you just have to do it. It's just like the dial for dollars. You have to call every person you've ever known and ask them for money. Okay, it's an ugly business. I mean, like, listen, you don't, Lydia. If Lydia's running for county commissioner, and this was your campaign headquarters, I'd be like, Lydia, you don't come out of this office until you've raised $5,000, and I would literally slam the door shut, and I'd be like, don't let me see your face until you have $5,000.
So it'd be like Linda Evangelista's favorite line: "I don't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day."
Right, there you go. But you would, But no, that's what it takes on the local level. So shout out to Sarah.
She's I will say this: Sarah has a degree in education. Her husband has a degree in education. She has 2 children in District 2. So she is very much like has her finger on the pulse of that. And so she understands what it's like to be in a working family and not have necessarily representation in the school board level that she thinks parents and especially teachers deserve. So if you think
Sarah
that's
with
cool.
a C or with an H?
Sarah with an H.
Sarah C. Butler. BUTLER.com.
Yep, .com. Yep.
Right.
So elect Sarah. Actually, it's elect Sarah Butler. I'm so sorry.
So it's www.elect.
Elect Sarah Butler.
Sarah with an H.
Butler.com. And I'll put a link in our show notes if you're interested in donating to her campaign. As her best friend, I thank you. But it's actually been really cool to be a part of her support team, just to be there if she needs something and, being able to be like, yeah, that's good. Run that past me. Let's just do it. And I think she's got a really great community around her in South Carolina. So hopefully it's a successful campaign.
Nice. Well, let's hope it is.
Yeah. So a little bright spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
In local government. We all need that sometimes.
No, absolutely.
Okay. So this is episode 3 of season 6.
Episode 3, season 6.
Yeah.
That means there have been 2 previous episodes of season 6, and there have been 5 previous seasons.
Yeah. Can you believe that? Just for a second. Can we just reflect on the fact?
What I always think when someone tells me that? I'm like, man, what a long, strange trip it's been.
It has been fun. No less.
So it's absolutely been fun. So Lydia, if you've just stumbled upon this and you're thinking, now that I've just clued you in that there are all these other episodes, where can they find it?
Oh, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify, Audible.
Love Audible.
We're on YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Deezer Player FM. Heads up on YouTube, you will only hear our wonderful voices. You will never see our faces because we are a traditional podcast.
Correct.
In your ears only.
Correctamundo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you can find us on Twitter. You can find us at Jack YDK. They can find Lydia at
RTL Pod.
They can find me at JMGGMPG.
Yeah.
So, Lydia, thanks as always.
No problem.
It's another episode in the books.
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday.